Hey, everybody, this is Sharon.
And I'm Desiree.
And this is the Other What podcast. Oh my God, we're so rusty. We have been gone from podcasting for quite a little bit. Yes. I know. Woo! It's been a while.
Yes.
So to catch y'all up on our crazy lives, we're going to do a little bit of a catch up episode because it's been busy. We've been doing some really cool stuff, but we've been doing some other stuff that, we want to talk about too, because we don't talk about it enough as women. And I think it's important for us, but we're going to start with the fun stuff first because Desiree, oh my God, she has been a travel fiend and she's gone to some amazing places. So Desiree, tell us about the trips you've taken. I want to hear all about it.
All right. So my major trip this year, my major trip. It was my major trip. This in July. For 10 days, myself, my cousin Lee, my best friend Jamila, and my youngest sister Amelia met us over there. But we went to Amsterdam, Brussels, and to London. So much fun. So much fun.
Wasn't it like also you guys did the trip because you also got tickets to like a really cool show in London? Is that where it was?
Yes. I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay.
I'll say that that was the impetus of the trip. And it was kind of timing around where my sister Amelia was already going to be in that area for a Tomorrowland concert, which is like a festival, which is like 400,000 plus people come to this music festival. And I was like, well, I don't want to do that. But I think that some of the things that I'm doing, she can join in on. So, first, I want to start with this experience I had in the Delta Lounge the day I was leaving. I don't have kids. I don't really talk to people's children outside of like my nieces and nephews and family members. But I did have a really interesting conversation with an 8-year-old girl who was with her parents sitting next to me at the lounge. Soon as I sat down, this kid just started talking to me.
That's and I was cute.
I mean, she was like, so where are you going? We're going here. Like she's telling way more than my parents would have been happy me telling somebody. She's like, we're going to Spain. We're going for a month, 6 weeks. And it's also my birthday. So we're really going on a birthday trip for me, but we're also going because it's a wedding and then my parents, blah, blah. And I was like, you got a lot of stuff going on, young lady. She's like, I'm so excited.
It's like, can you imagine doing all that when you were 8? Did you travel when you were younger, that young? Like that?
Not to Europe. No, I'd never made it to Europe till last year. My parents did trips, but we were mostly a car family because there's so many of us. And see, by the time I was 8, there were 4 of us.
Right.
So we weren't, I don't even, totally random, and has nothing to do with this. But I just thought about, I don't remember how old I was the first time I was on a plane. I'm sure it was fairly young, but I don't remember what that experience was like.
Wow. Yeah. I feel like a lot more kids are going overseas at a younger age. Yeah. And I don't know if it's because their parents are just more well off, right? Like our parents weren't super well off and your parents had so many kids. There's no way you're going to buy a plane ticket for like 5 kids, or whatever.
Right.
So I wonder if I wonder if there's something around that because I keep hearing about like kids like 8, 10 going to like Germany or Italy, or it's amazing what they're getting to experience at such a young age. It really is.
One of my sisters and her family, they're planning a trip to Singapore and Vietnam.
Wow.
Not Singapore. They're going to Philippines and Vietnam
and
Malaysia next year.
How
for
many
2
kids
weeks.
are they taking all the kids?
Just 2 kids.
That's a lot. Wow.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend and I are already planning our trip for next year to Tokyo and Seoul. And her oldest is all upset because we're not taking him.
Yeah.
Right. And my girlfriend's like, yeah, we're not taking you. You're not coming.
Sorry, kids.
Sorry, kids. This is an adults only trip. You are not allowed to come with us.
Well, they did that last year. My sister and her husband, just the 2 of them went for 2 weeks, and they did Singapore, Bali,
wow,
and 2 other places within Indonesia, and they loved it. So they're thinking about actually moving to Singapore. So they want the kids to have a little exposure to it as well.
Interesting. It's so interesting you say that, because my cousin, even though she's my crazy cousin, just moved back from Singapore back to Salt Lake City. And she actually supposedly had she fainted there. She couldn't handle it. The heat, the work schedule, maybe it's different because also that's where all my family is from, but she just could not handle it. Her husband was like, we're moving back to America right now. Like, get on the airplane now. Right.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. This is all for my parents too. So who knows? But I've just heard it can be kind of a tough place. It's also so hot. It's hard to do anything outside. So just, if they have small kids, or kids, it's hard. Like going to a soccer game. You can't just go to a soccer game. It's so freaking hot.
Well, they
there.
live in Texas, so they're used to the humidity and the just hell heat.
The hell heat. Yeah. And just being inside all the time with air conditioning running.
Yeah. They didn't feel like it was any different temperature wise than what they already live in now.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. I would say jumping on a plane and going to Bali or going to wherever is amazing from Singapore. You're central to all of it. So that's really great. Yeah. That's really cool. You have a very world travel-y family.
Oh, yeah. One of my sisters went through a phase of just buying the cheapest ticket and going places for long weekends. She went to Iceland. She's gone to a few countries in South America, some places in Central America. Yeah. She's like, well, I can travel, so I'm going to do that.
For her.
Yeah.
Did you ever do AirTran back in the day?
Heck yeah.
And do you remember their student or their half off? You just wait.
Student discount was $74 one way.
If they had an extra seat, right? And if they have an extra seat, you just wait at the gate. It was the best thing ever back in the day before TSA.
Yeah. I loved it. But can you imagine though how crazy it would be trying to get into the airport if everybody could still access it? It would be nuts.
It would be nuts. I mean, I'm surprised that it didn't get overrun back in the day. I remember waiting for my friends for a flight, and it was 3 of us. We were waiting for them to deplane, and it was late at night in the Delta terminal, and nobody was there. So we were in college. We got one of the wheelchairs, and we started doing wheelchair races up and down. This is probably the C concourse or the B concourse, and just racing up and down while we waited for them to get off the plane, because you could do that back then. Yeah. You literally could hang out at the airport. That's what you did when you didn't go to the bars.
Right.
It was insane. It was crazy.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Please continue.
Thank you so much. So lounge. So that was my experience in the lounge. And then we were talking so much. I was talking, then I ended up talking to the mom and the dad and the other kid, her brother. And then when they left, I realized maybe 5 minutes or so after they left that they left a little bag that the young girl left. And it was some little snacks and a book that she just left. And I felt so bad because I was like, I don't know what gate they were going to, so I can't even take this to them. So I just gave it to the people at the front, but I don't think they came back to get it.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, she probably was really looking forward to that stuff on the plane. But anyway, lesson learned, kid. Keep an eye on your shit. So, all right.
We are all about morals and things to remember on this episode.
Right. Oh my God. Okay. Let me put this so I can read it, because I've took all these notes of things I want to talk about. Okay. So Amsterdam. Fantastic.
That was your second time there?
My first time there.
Oh, nice.
My first time. And definitely a place that I could live. easily. It was way more diverse than I was expecting. Like, at no point did I feel othered ever in Amsterdam. Never.
Oh.
And there are just so many people that look like me. There were people that look like Lee, because my cousin Lee and my friend Jamila, people often mistake them for being Ethiopian. And there's a ton of Ethiopians in Amsterdam. So at no point did we ever feel like we didn't belong somewhere. There were no people like turning their heads looking like, what are they doing in here? None of that in any place that we went to, which was really, really nice to just feel like you can kind of immerse yourself with a group and it feel comfortable right off the bat. That was really
amazing.
nice. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Their public transportation is so good.
Stellar.
Yeah, even at the airport, their train station hub is at the airport. Plus,
I mean, the airport is freaking awesome. I love Schiphol. It's one of my favorite airports to transfer in.
So nice.
So nice. So nice.
And just like, it just made sense. It's like if our airports had like a Amtrak hub and then all the Metro MARTA's subway stations run through the airport. It just made so much sense, Sharon. And it was so easy to navigate. And then we stayed in the Noord, so North Amsterdam pretty much. But we were only 2 stops from Central. So it was like a 7-minute train ride from our hotel, which was about maybe 200 feet from the train station.
That's great.
So
yeah, you guys
easy.
picked a great location.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, Europe is so great like that. Amsterdam, I'm happy to hear that because I guess I had heard from, I have friends who are expats there and they had a very different take on it. So it was really refreshing when you were telling me about this and when you were saying it was so diverse and welcoming. And so I kind of think it's very interesting because they're also a white couple. And I wonder if that is the difference with you, with the experience that you guys had. I have no idea.
I wonder if it's expectations of what you look like. So how you should talk, the language you should maybe know.
That's very true because they were saying that like the Amsterdam, like the people from are native, they just did not want to talk to them at all.
Wow, that's
totally
isn't
different
that sad?
than
the experience that we had.
Totally different. It's really actually very fascinating, you know, like especially going to a place where you feel welcome as a person of color and you think it's a very white place.
Yes.
That was really cool. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
All right.
Love it.
So I have so much more to talk about Amsterdam, but let's take a water break.
Okay. Water break.
And we'll be right back.
Okay.
So Amsterdam is where I'm still telling this story. So as I said, like never felt othered. We went to so many different places while we were in Amsterdam. We did an amazing seafood restaurant called Pesca, which was fan-fucking-tastic. Highly recommend. 15 out of 10. You gotta go.
Wow.
If you're in Amsterdam.
We'll put that link in the show notes.
We had went to a bomb-ass Jamaican place called Labyrinth. We had great Ethiopian food. The coffee shops. I mean, we just like were in and out of those. Like every time we saw one, we were like, well, let's just go in and look, you know? So that was really cool. And everyone is so different. Every coffee shop is completely different. And that was really a cool experience. We kept Amsterdam super light in terms of like planning things. The only thing we really had planned was this dinner at Pesca. And that was it. The rest was just, let's go with the flow and kind of see where we lead. So, one of the cool things we also did there, we also were there during the start of their Pride.
Oh, cool.
Which was really cool because the whole city had just gay flags everywhere. I mean, almost flown to where I felt like, is this something just to keep up year round? Like,
I mean, isn't it supposed to be a really gay city? So I guess
it's
so,
very gay.
right?
Yeah. We stumbled on a block party after dinner one night. And so we stayed at this random block party because we were already a little tipsy from dinner. So we were like, yeah, let's just stay out. And that was amazing. It was called like Homo Monument, something like that.
Sweet. Oh my God.
Fun.
That's
great.
It
was fun. The next day we stumbled upon one of the parades because they have several parades for Pride. So we walked in on one of the Pride parades. We were going in and out of museums, bookstores. Anytime we felt like let's take a break, we just go to a bar and try different beers. Like we really just made it super light. One of the highlights also for this trip was in Amsterdam is we got to Jamila, my friend Jamila is a yoga instructor, as well as a million other things that she does. But she was set on like, I want to do yoga every day. So she found us this yoga class and it's called Yoga for Black Babes. And it's a Black women's yoga group in Amsterdam.
Please put that link in the show notes. Yeah. That just blows my mind.
Yes.
That blows my mind. It exists in Amsterdam.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, listeners, I have no idea. Does it exist in America? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. That's amazing.
Yeah. So that was really cool. And there was about maybe 10 of us in that class. And so one of the things that I really enjoyed about that, I'm not the best at yoga. I'm super not flexible in that terms. But after the class, the instructor kind of just went around and had everybody tell like, how did you find out about this class? You know, what did you enjoy? What can we improve upon? And so just hearing like all these different women talking about like, sometimes they're the only Black person in a space in a yoga class. So just having this space just was really good. And everybody felt very safe and just fully supported. Some of the women were born in Amsterdam. Some migrated over from other countries. So just hearing like what it was like for them living in Amsterdam versus what we felt like it might be like to live in Amsterdam as a person of color. They have their own shit there too, and they deal with racism as well. But I don't think it's just, it doesn't seem like it's out in your face kind of like it is here. But that was really, really a cool experience. Also in Amsterdam, I got sick like the last day. I started not feeling good. Like the last 2 days, I didn't feel good. And I could have gotten COVID. I'm not sure, but I just did not feel good. So, when we left Amsterdam, we went to Brussels. We took the train, which is such easy way to get around. Get on the train, get on the trains in Europe. It's so great.
Yes.
We sat in like this business class. So we had food and drinks and it was really a nice experience. But when we got into Brussels, I was just wiped out. And I pretty much the first day we got there, I just went to sleep. Lee and everybody went around and saw things, but I was like, nope, I am going to sleep. And our hotel in Brussels was really dope. It had a hot sauna in the room.
Nice.
Which was really cool.
That is really nice. Dang. Yeah.
So Brussels for me was really just resting. But it also, like Lee and Jamila also felt like, oh, this was a good break from Amsterdam to here where we're all resting because Jay was still working. She had contracts and stuff she was working on. And there was just one time we were all in our room together and Jamila was on a call for work. Lee was reading and I was just laying in bed. And I was like, this is nice that we can all just coexist in the same space, but also still be able to just do our own thing and not feel like we have to constantly like engage with each other.
Yeah.
And that was the first time the three of us traveled together. And, you know, an international trip, that's a big deal, but we worked really well together. Like it was a great pairing. I did get out one day in Brussels for lunch and I had some delicious mussels, French fries, of course, and beer because, you know, you have to, but, that was mostly just Brussels for me, was the one lunch and then just resting. And then London. Great hotel in St. Paul's, near St. Paul's Cathedral. I am not really a fan of London.
Oh my gosh! I guess you can say that kind of loud. It's okay.
Say it. Yeah.
So tell us why.
I think because it reminds me too much of New York, and I'm not a big New York fan. It's just
too big
loud.
of a city.
No, not even the size. It was just, I don't know. It just didn't feel as clean as Amsterdam. Amsterdam just really spoiled us. Like everything was super easy. Their transportation. I mean, London, there's like the tube, and then there's buses, and then there's another train thing. I think it's called like National Rail or something, but you have to have different tickets to get on everything. And even though folks there are English speakers, we got our English from them, but there was still like this big gap in understanding the questions we were asking them. Like we were like, hey, we need to, like, we were literally at the window in the train stations asking like, hey, we are trying to get here. How do we get here? Oh, okay. You need to get this ticket to do this, to go on this train. And then we would do that. But then it was not the right ticket, or one time the trains weren't even running at that time, and this dude still sold us a ticket to get on the train.
What? Oh, that sucks.
So we kept,
that's frustrating.
It was very frustrating. And then we would have like, we had to get let into and out of like 2 train stations because we didn't have the right ticket to get on it. And we were like, we asked, like we had conversations the day before, like we bought all our tickets ahead of time to make it easier for ourselves, but then it didn't make it easy. So that was super frustrating. But outside of that, like it's a place like New York for me where I would only go for really shows and maybe dinner and then be like, all right, that was enough. So the first night we got there, we saw the Book of Mormon, which was phenomenal.
I love that you saw that in London and the West End. That's so cool.
It was amazing. It's such a great show.
Such a great show.
But I also had an interesting experience doing that that I've not experienced before, where I was in a pretty much 98% white audience, and just me, my sister, my cousin, and Jamila, and maybe a handful of other people of color. But to sit in a theater like that, where you're watching a play that has a lot of Black or African storyline to it. So a few times I'm like, are they laughing with the joke or at it?
Ooh.
And that was really interesting. We all kind of talked about that because they had some risque-ish,
people have walked out of that show. It is not appropriate in a lot of ways. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, the religious parts, that wasn't really a big deal to us because none of us are super religious, but it was just some of the things like making jokes about AIDS in Africa and like, okay, but are y'all understanding that it's real also, right? And just like missionaries and what that's like for the people who are living in a place, and you have this group kind of invading you to tell you the way you've lived and the things you believe are not right, and our way is the right way.
Oh, like, colonialism.
Yes.
Oh, colonialism.
Its finest,
Its finest. Yes.
So that was interesting. But I did enjoy the play. We, on the way back, walked to our hotel, which is like a 45-minute walk from the West End, which it was really nice though. And we found this bar called 13 Bar that I have to shout out because it was so sexy. It was just a sexy bar. And I'll share a couple of pictures of this bar, but really great cocktails, really fun people that work there. Jamila has this thing where wherever she goes, if she goes to any bar that she really likes, she asks them if she can have their menu. And everybody said yes. One person said, I can't tell you can take it, but if I turn around and it's gone, then I don't know what happened to it.
Right.
So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That was fun. Super sexy bar. Another thing that we did that was really dope was If anybody has ever watched Chef's Table on Netflix, season 6, I believe episode 3, there's a woman named Asama Khan. And I remember watching that during the pandemic because I got into all these cooking and chef things to just kind of put me in a peaceful place. We went to her restaurant in London, and it's called the Jarling Express. It's in Soho, and it was fantastic. I knew that if I ever made to London, that was a place I wanted to eat, and we were all super hyped about it. One of the really cool things about that experience was that Asama was there. At first we didn't see her, but then she showed up. So she was there, and just true to how she is in the episode, she goes around talking to people, different tables. And I got so starstruck, Sharon. Like I had like 2 or 3 years in my head, like thought about what I would say if I ever really got to meet her. But I got so starstruck. I was like fumbling over my words. Jamila was like, at one point, Desiree, I thought you were about to cry because your eyes were so watery. I was just so excited to meet her and just tell her like how much her story just resonated with me, and not a way that like I can understand as and relate to, but just her passion that really just spoke to me. So that was really cool. She signed some cookbooks for us, for her cookbooks, and talked to us for a bit, took pictures. Very, very sweet lady. That was cool. What else did we do? Oh, the reason for this whole trip was started because I really want to go see Grace Jones in concert, and she very rarely comes to the US. And I just happened to constantly check to see when she's touring, and she was going to be at a music festival in London. So that one concert actually started the whole trip. So I was like, okay,
I love that.
I can do this. Amelia's already going to be over there. Maybe she'll join. So Amelia joined us on the train from Brussels to London. She met up with us at the station. Grace Jones, folks,
amazing,
is in her 70s, still touring, still sounds phenomenal. Was in heels. She kicked heels off at the end. She was throwing her leg up on like this high rising thing. And at one point she's like, I don't remember this being so high. Because she had to get her leg up, and costume changes for almost every song she did. She had on some variation of a different outfit. Got into the audience a bit, was on the shoulders of like one of her bodyguards going around when they had like crazy bubbles that were also had smoke machine in them. So it was like bubbles, but then also bubbles that had smoke in it. So when you popped it, it was like, it was That's so cool. It was really
sounds
cool.
Like it's an event, and not just
it
a
was. Show. Yeah, it was.
That's cool.
That was really, really good. I would love to actually see her again. It was just that good of a concert.
Yeah.
I think that sums up my July
That's amazing.
Trip.
It's an amazing trip. Fun. It sounds like.
It was a lot of fun. I'll make you laugh real quick. So prior to Amelia joining our trip, like I was like, okay, Amelia, we are keeping it light. We don't want to have stuff planned every day. Like London was really the thing. We had a lot of stuff planned, the dinner, the show, and going to the concert. We had stuff planned for every day. I was like, we don't want to do a lot of stuff. But my sister, being the Capricorn that she is and likes to be in charge of everything, started like trying to plan all this other stuff. So we did one event with her, which was going to Kensington Gardens. We did a tour and a high tea. But she was just like trying to throw stuff on us. And I was like, no, Amelia, nope, we don't.
Not going to happen.
You're stressing me out now.
Yeah.
You're stressing me out.
What's so funny is Amelia's like the artsy one. She should be like all freewheeling, but yet she wants all this structure when that's actually hilarious.
It's the Capricorn in her. It's like everything has to be planned in some way.
Oh my God.
My plan is there's no plan. Like, let's just do things. So that was kind of funny.
I think I love the way you plan that. You do like one thing and that's a goal. Everything else is like icing on the cake. And then you get to explore. I don't want to be super structured either. I totally get it.
Then that makes the trip go by faster to me because you're always thinking, oh, at 6 o'clock, I've got this. And then 9 o'clock, I've got this. And so you're thinking of the next thing that you have to do. And then that rushes up to that next thing. At least that's how it feels for me.
No, I get it. No, it sounds amazing.
It was
amazing.
My God. My friend Jamila loved it so much in Amsterdam that she decided to get a place for 3 months over there. So she's going to be over there for 3 months.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Yeah. So here's what's amazing about this trip. The Desiree did so much in such a short amount of time. We're literally only like a third of the way through our catch up. I just want to like everybody to hear this. Like there's like, she did so freaking much. And I like, wow, what did I do? I sat on my ass or worked all day. That's what I did for the 2 weeks that she was gone. And she did all these things. I didn't do anything.
Oh my gosh.
But we're going to catch you guys up on other things. One of them being Black Gay Pride because Desiree had gotten back in time for that and it was amazing, but we're going to put a pin in that because we want Erin to come back in because she came into town for it. And
we had
too much fun.
There was a slumber party involved.
There was. Oh my God. That was probably Desiree, you still think that was the most fun part of that weekend, right? Was the slumber party.
It was. We had such a good time.
Yeah. I think there should be more adult slumber parties. Why don't we do that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay. Well, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back and then we'll catch you guys up on the rest of all the fun stuff. Stay tuned. So
welcome back.
What I love about, again, as a lot of you know, me and Desiree are very opposite and a lot of the things that we think like, it's just kind of crazy. But so she's having these fabulous times out overseas across the pond and doing all this stuff. We're going to talk about what Sharon was doing a little bit after that, which is not as exciting, but just as important, I think, because as women, we don't talk about it enough.
Mm-hmm.
I was, is diagnosed the right word? They found uterine fibroids in my uterus and my uterus has been growing at this like crazy rate to where like it's the size of, if I had a 6-month-old baby in my belly. And by the way, no babies
coming
in
out
here.
Of there. Yeah.
No. So, so I elected to do some, like, it was kind of like an outpatient surgery. It's still surgery where they like, anyways, they block the flow of blood and they start shrinking and whatever. So that was fun. Welcome to 40-year-old bodies and what we have to do. What I found though, is that, this is like happens to like 80% of women.
Yeah.
Like uterine fibroids are, and nobody talks about it. And so,
especially women of color.
Women of color. That's totally true. So I'm at my yoga studio. I go to my yoga classes on Thursdays and the yoga teacher that I'm kind of close to, she has it. Then another woman hears us talking. She starts talking to us. And then a Black woman comes over and it was the cutest thing. She comes over really close over my shoulder and she goes, "Are we talking about our uteri?"
Yeah.
And she got into the conversation and all of a sudden you're in this safe space with other women talking about the same issues and everybody's had different surgeries. Anything from a hysterectomy all the way to what I did, which was an embolization. And I think it's just fascinating that we just don't talk about these aging bodies. And like for me right now too, and we could probably do a whole episode about this later, but like the perimenopausal stuff that's coming up, right?
Yeah.
Like we've had a women's health episode, but like now, like there's even more stuff kind of coming at us that we weren't expecting. Like, you know, on top of the colonoscopies, on top of this, on top of that. And so I'm just hoping that we can be more open and honest about this kind of stuff. I actually heard, and I have no idea if this is true, Desiree, maybe we can look it up later, but like South Asian and Black women enter perimenopause sooner than white women do.
Interesting.
I have no idea if it's true or not, but I thought it was really, really fascinating. And yet we don't talk about it enough. Right? Like as people of color, women of color, we don't talk about it, even though we're entering it before all these other women are. Anyways, I thought that was just like absolutely fascinating. But the embolization surgery I had, it was incredibly painful. The first 2 or 3 days, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. It was the weirdest, freakiest thing ever. Thank God for my girlfriend, because we both have hit a milestone where we both have like witnessed each other throw up. This is a good thing. Yeah. I think everybody should have a milestone where you have like throw up somewhere in your first year of your relationship, and you know if it's solid or not, that you can watch the other person throw up. So thank God for her, and just taking great care of me. And, I'm back, like, doing yoga, lifting and things like that. I've actually, Desiree, I didn't tell you this. I've decided to start training for a powerlifting meet.
Oh my gosh. I love that
next year. So I think it'll be really fun. So that should be cool. I go to this queer gym over in East Atlanta, and I just feel very safe there. All shapes and sizes, all they, thems, hers, he's, I get all the pronouns mixed up. These days, it's like amazing. And it's just a really good place to just like be strong. And they just kind of, it's a very encouraging thing for me. And I need a goal. Like I used to do triathlons and stuff. I haven't had a goal in a really long time. So this is really exciting. And I feel like I'm still learning about my body. It's changing, but I'm able to take care of it. And I feel really strong about that part of it. So it's been really good. So like, so it's been a journey for me. Along the way, I did also give up my dog. I rehomed him. Yes. I know some of the listeners have heard of me talk about Elvis.
Yeah.
I wish the best for him. It was just a really, really tough, it was really hard to have him. He had a lot of anxiety. He came from a really bad background. I thought I could help him. I think my savior syndrome took over. And I tried. Look, I gave it a good try, 1.5 years. I did everything I could for him, but it was just time for us to part ways. And I'm sad. I feel guilty about it, but I think it was the best thing that I could have done for myself. Things have just gotten so much simpler. And then going through the recovery from the surgery and everything, it made so much sense. So there was a lot of like, I didn't get to do like, woohoo, all these fun things like Desiree did, but I did all these like very emotional, hard things that I had to do to get me to this next place, wherever I'm going next. So I feel really good about that part of it. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So you're talking about women's bodies made me think of something, if I may interject for a moment.
Please.
Oh, so my job, I'm on a project right now where I'm on a project within a project. So I'm in overall a group of like 15 to 20 people. We're working on this one thing together, but we have a subgroup of that where there's 5 of us, all women. I'm the only woman of color in the group, but that little group of 5, it's such a beautiful group. I was sharing with them, which we're talking about catching up on some health stuff. So I had an ovarian cyst rupture a couple of weeks ago, which is
so scary.
So painful. So painful, so scary. And thank you, Sharon, for coming over and bringing dinner and sitting with me. I appreciate that.
I know. I brought her Korean barbecue bowls. They were so yum.
Good.
Yay.
Yeah. So I was sharing that with this group of women who I'm in this sub committee with, and all of them were like, "Oh my gosh, Desiree, like we've had this happen to our buddies. We've had this happen, like hysterectomies, cyst ruptures." And then we talked about perimenopause. Sharon, we spent the first 20 minutes of this meeting just talking about our bodies and how, like, why don't we talk about this more? Like, there's so many of us that have similar experiences, but nobody talks about it. So, right?
Okay. Can I say the brain exploding thing? It's two things that's brain exploding. We've talked about this so much because again, me and Desiree are complete opposites, especially with our working lives too, right?
Right.
You had a conversation at work about this. Wow. Like the fact that it was already a safe space for you.
Yes.
You got this other safe space. I can't even imagine talking about my period at work.
Oh,
because all the men would just leave.
We got
There's no way. There's no way. That is amazing.
Yeah. Even with my work group of the folks I'm here in Atlanta with, our group, we're pretty close. So like they know, like, hey, this is what happened. And some of the guys were like really kind of asking questions to seeking to understand more, like, what does that mean? What does that pain feel like? And so I appreciate that. But that's, I think that's a part of my leadership style also, like authentic servant leadership, but mostly authentic leadership. Like, I feel like the more that I can be vulnerable with the people I work with, that makes them be able to be more vulnerable with me. That helps us build trust amongst each other. And it just makes working together more beneficial and not feel like so superficial, so task oriented.
Yeah.
We've built this relationship, so we work better together now because we've had this.
I love that. And I have people like that in my working life, but they're not people that I work with all the time. Right? I have a work friend and I can be very honest with him. And he's the other person of color. He's Black in my group. Okay. And so me and him have really bonded, and he's in Atlanta too.
Okay.
And we can put a pin in this too, because we're going to do a work episode. Yes. But I think where I struggle is that being vulnerable and being authentic with some of the people that I work with actually would put me in a very, very awkward position at work because they're not willing to go there. So it has to be a two-way street, I feel like. And you could lead with that. But I've just had so many problems in the past with men who just want to be dudes and be douchey dudes that you just get the work done and then you move on with your life. And then you don't want to have that authentic experience with them. And it's sad because I like having that connection at work. It makes it easier, like you said.
No, that's a great point. We'll put a pin in that and come in a different.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there. It's a whole thing.
Episode,
I love, and this is why we're friends. Servant leader, authentic. Hell yeah, I'll work for you any day. You can hire me later. But I'm right there with you. I'm all about servant leadership as well. And I feel like we should do that more.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go, guys. You got your medical checkup from us. Please go get checked out. Go talk to your OB and talk to your girlfriends.
Yes.
About everything, because shit's going to get weird.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how many people are going through the same thing.
Exactly. And you don't have to be alone going through all this stuff. So I think that's a big deal. Yeah. Okay. So do you want to take a break? A quick little break?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. We're going to take a quick little break. We're going to come back and then we are going to end this episode with an epic party that Desiree and I went to. It was so fun. I can't wait. The Cabbagetown prom is next. Stay tuned.
Oh my goodness.
We have too much fun together. We need to post that picture. Andrew, remember that picture we sent you? That's what we have to post. We'll post that one.
The one with
really
where
it was
I'm
me
like,
and you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was the one with me and you. I mean, we can also post I don't know about our friends if they want us to post them. We can turkey their faces out.
Yeah.
Or girl. Girl.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. You ready to start, Miss Desiree?
I'm ready.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the catch-up episode for The Other What. We have gone on quite the journey, travel, medical, bodies. But we're going to end on a fun note, we promise, on this one. So I live in a neighborhood, and everybody knows now. We're just going to say it. I live in Cabbagetown in Atlanta, and it's kind of like an old historic neighborhood where they can't put infill houses in. So everything's kind of still the way it looked back in the 1900s. It's actually very cool.
Very cute.
It's very cute. And so every year the neighborhood association puts on a prom, and it's fun. I went last year, and it's just like a neighborhood party, right? At the community center. So I don't want anybody to expect like Under the Sea or like it was very low budget. Yeah. Low,
whatever you think it should be, lower
it is not.
More.
Yeah, lower it. But Desiree was game. She was so excited to go. And we roped in a couple more of our friends to go with us too.
Yep.
To where Desiree was
girlfriends to go.
Our girlfriends went with us. Desiree was sending me like, should I buy a blue tux? Should I do this? Oh my God. Because here's the theme, and you're supposed to dress up. That's why it was so much fun, was sci-fi space. And we had so much like, oh my God. So we kind of tempered our expectations on that too. We didn't buy the blue tuxes. We didn't go for the crazy headgear.
Right. My girlfriend's like, you were stressing yourself out about this outfit. Cause I went to like consignment shops. I went to thrift stores. I went to Junkman's Daughter.
You were all in.
Like,
you were all in.
Psycho Sisters. I was in those stores.
I was
like, you're never going to wear this again. Just relax.
Right. That's exactly right. So, anyway, so we all came to my place, and we tried to do these like space cocktails. It was fun.
It was fun.
We tried to have like little spacey theme things. And, we didn't get dressed up, but I think we looked pretty good. I mean, I wasn't a t-shirt, but that's okay. That's my dressed up look.
Right.
We got these fun glasses that lit up and flashed, and Desiree had these like little antenna things that they were so cute that lit up too. So I think we did a great job. And then our friend Jen. Oh, Jen. We should have her on the podcast one of these days, Desiree. We really need to do.
Yeah.
She is so funny. She's what, 5'2", 5'1"?
No, I don't think Jen is 5 feet tall. Maybe 4'11".
Oh, okay.
Because I'm 5'1" and I'm taller than her.
Oh, okay. Got it. So she's kind of tiny. So she went to the kids section.
Like a little Filipino.
A little Filipino. Yeah. So So she went to the kids section and bought one of those like blow up costumes where it's like an alien. Looks like it looks like an alien is humping a little kid.
Or it looks
That's
like
what it looks
abducting.
like. Abducting, but humping too.
Well, it depends on how you move the suit.
Which Jen moved that suit really well.
Little legs.
I think she was the hit of the whole prom.
Yes.
Because people kept coming up to her thinking it was so wrong on so many levels. Yes. And it was, she was grinding, getting down on it was hilarious to see her. And she was having so much fun too. I love that. So my favorite story, we walk over to the prom. Desiree's girlfriend goes to me, "What white hell have you brought me to?" It was my favorite.
And my girlfriend is half white.
Right. So this was pretty freaking white. So yes, Cabbagetown, the area is pretty white. Yeah, that's how it is. But I was like, we'll have a good time. We took awkward prom photos, which were really fun. Desiree has some great ones.
Yes.
And we just started partying because like, why not? We paid for the ticket. We're going to have a party. And so we did. We had a great time. And then my second favorite story was that black guy that danced like a white guy.
He was killing us. And there were other folks, like other friends of ours were there who are also women of color. And we were all like, does he need to be saved? Like, what's going on with this guy?
Was he brainwashed?
I don't know. We were like, is this like a Get Out situation? Like,
yes. Oh my God. Is that what you were thinking?
Yes.
Because you're right. It was kind of like that.
We didn't know what was. He looked happy. So I hope he's safe, but it was.
Well, they looked happy on Get Out as well after they got brainwashed.
That's
so
true.
There is something to that.
Yeah.
That night was so weird and crazy. But you know what? We made the best of it. I think it's funny. As again, we'll talk about this like from a person of color standpoint. We brought the color.
Yes, we did.
We brought the color with our group.
Yeah.
And when we were checking in, There is a very good Asian fusion restaurant in Cabbagetown called Jen Chan's. We'll put that in the show notes. They're good friends of mine, owned by 2 lesbians too. So go like support them. And Jen is Asian, and then her wife Emily is white. And Jen lives in the town next to Cabbagetown. So, and we cross paths all the time because it's a small community. Well, of course, when I walk up, the white lady, because Jen Chan's donates food and pizza. She comes up to me. She goes, "Thanks for donating all the food." That was like, I looked at my girlfriend. I was like, she thinks I'm Jen. Because, all Asian ladies look exactly the same. And all Asian queer ladies look exactly the same.
Oh my God. I don't think I knew that.
You didn't know that because I don't remember if I told you that when we were checking in. I was like, and what's funny is that this white woman that came up to me, she's met me before through my neighbors. She's met me. She lives down the street.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Clueless.
Oh dear.
Because we all look alike, right, Desiree?
I guess so. Wow.
I need to pull that card more often. Oh yeah, I own a restaurant. I know what the fuck I'm doing. Right. I can do this. No. But
thanks for donating the food.
Thanks for donating the food.
Oh, my eyes are watering.
Oh, and okay. Can I tell us, Jen? We love Jen. I really want her to be on this podcast. But she would, we would see people like walking up the street dressed up, and she'd start yelling at them. Yes. Hey, are you going to the prom? Oh my God, I love
funny.
You bring Jen to the party. She brings the party.
Oh, she's great.
She's great. Anyways, so what? Was it everything you expected, Desiree? Did I bring it or what?
I had several expectations, yet no expectations, and everything was met. Everything was met. It was like just this hodgepodge of different people who probably never would hang out together outside of this space.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There were so many different types of people there, different age groups, different backgrounds, like jobs and industries. Like you could just tell that folks were like, this is not like people that just hang out normally.
Right.
They're not like,
okay. When Desiree says age groups, I mean, you're talking like people in their like 70s were out there with us.
Jamming.
They were
I feel like this is like their award season, or like the party of the year for them. Like they probably have planned outfits and who's going to go, gotten their babysitter a year ahead because they are so excited to get out of the house for this.
Yeah. It's kind of become like an event in that way.
No, and I would go next year because I did have a good time, but we had a fun group of people.
I kind of love that we kind of crashed it too. It's kind of awesome in that way. It did. And who doesn't want to crash a party these days? We should all just do it once in a while. Who wants to, whatever.
And with the tickets, you got food, you got drinks. When there were drinks, because a lot of stuff kind of ran out.
Was out. Yeah. We'll bring more drinks next time, I think.
And places to sit, which is always nice.
Yeah.
It was hot in there.
And just like, the people watching was epic. I think that's a lot of what it was. And I don't know, we had a great time. I love dressing up. We got like goofy t-shirts, and I just love that whole, like felt like an adult Halloween.
Yeah.
And it was fun. Like we literally just had fun, and I love that.
We laughed so much. Like you said, so much. We took so many ridiculous pictures. It was a good time.
It was a great time. I encourage everybody to just have a little bit of fun in their lives by doing something like completely off the wall, like going to a weird local community center prom that you would never think that you would go to. Because why the fuck not?
You probably never even talked to any of these neighbors in your life.
Exactly.
You've seen them, but don't speak to them. And now you're at this prom and people are talking to you.
Yeah. And they're dancing. And you know what? Yeah. I still don't ever see these people, but that's okay. Yeah. I danced with them. Hey, I'm never going to see you again. I'll see you later. Bye. Yeah. So you should do that. But Anyways, it was just really good. And I think everybody should just be doing a lot of that because the world can get so shitty sometimes and so hard. Man, to laugh like that with friends, it just is
be
a gift.
Silly. Be silly sometimes.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. All right, guys.
Sharon,
we're busy. We were busy.
We've had a busy few months. So there were still things that we left out because of time. We were like, well, we don't have to cover that. But yeah. I think we did a good job of catching everybody up.
I know. I think so too. And we've got some episodes are coming up like around the Black Gay Pride stuff with Erin because everybody loved Erin. We're totally going to bring her back.
Yes.
And then Desiree's friend Jamila is going to come on. We're talking about some serious stuff, but stuff we all need to do and probably have some laughs there too. But I think, I don't know. It's good. I feel like we're back and we're going to good
to be back with you.
It's going to be back. Yeah, totally.
Even though I see you, but I know it's good in this platform.
Right. To our listeners, which is still Desiree's family. They love us and they love me.
They love Sharon. Everybody
shout out to Beth.
Loves Sharon. Yes.
Shout out to Beth.
Beth has been insistent that Sharon come for Thanksgiving. She has reached out to Sharon, Instagram, text message, FaceTime videos. She just wants Sharon at Thanksgiving.
I know. I love you, Beth. I love you too.
Yeah.
I know. Desiree, remember when we FaceTimed her and then we were like, Desiree's like, okay, bye, Beth, bye. And then hung up on her. Oh my God. It was so funny.
She just would have kept talking. She knows that. It's not a secret. It's not a secret.
I love your family.
Thank you. They love you. All right.
All right, guys. All right. Well, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Love ya.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Other What podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave us a thumbs up, and share with your friends. It really helps us grow. This episode was hosted by Sharon Go and Desiree Jamerson and produced by Andrew Marconi. We'd love to hear from you. Connect with us on Instagram at The Other What and tell us your show ideas, comments, and suggestions. You can also find us on YouTube, Facebook, all of the podcasting platforms, and our website, theotherwhat.com, where you can listen to all our episodes, check out show notes, and shop for merch that supports the show. The Other What is proudly brought to you by 559 Labs. We'll see you next time.